What's up, everybody? My name is JMak. If you're new to my channel, make sure you unsub. Yes, okay. Stuff around my apartment looks pretty crazy. Currently, I'm moving, so don't worry about the background and how crazy it actually looks. And I have not been crying. I actually just woke up from a nap, a really nice long power nap, like 5 hours. So I've been crying about Melee. Basically, Nintendo is a bunch of old white dudes who are completely out of touch out of any sort of online communication. They still use their fax machine to send all of their receipts through Nintendo. So this really big online tournament community called Big House, they were gonna host a Melee tournament, and Nintendo gave them a cease and desist to stop all operations, which also scared a bunch of other tournaments for Melee. Because if you guys don't know, Melee currently is pretty much gonna die if this doesn't get resolved. There's a pandemic going on. No one could play Melee physically. If you guys don't know about Melee, which I don't know how you guys wouldn't if you live under a rock, Melee is an amazing game. I'm personally really bad at Melee, so I just don't like Melee because I'm bad at it, but it doesn't mean that it's not a good game. Melee is an extremely well-made game. Anyways, these tournaments use a thing called Slippy. It's a mod plugin. I don't even know what to call it. Basically, you take your Melee disc and you take a ROM from it, which is legal. You can take a physical copy disc and take a ROM from it and then emulate it on your computer. That is fully legal. It's not illegal. You can actually do that. It's illegal if you download a ROM and you don't own the game. But you take the game, you put it in your emulator, and then you run Slippy, and you could play Melee online. Better online than Ultimate could ever do. And by the way, you pay for online on Smash Ultimate. Just think about that. That's how bad it is. Slippy is 100% free. You don't have to pay the dude to download the mod. The dude who made the mod or plugin, whatever you want to call it, he spent 6 months of his personal time. I think he actually left his job to spend time on this. Made it amazing. A full rollback on Melee. It's insane. You could be from California to Korea and you can play literally like you're sitting next to each other. That's how good it is. The first time I heard of Slippy was someone from a Discord of Moist Critical's Discord was like, "Hey, let's play Melee." I'm like, how are we going to play Melee? We can't. I don't know who you are. We just can't do that. And he said, "Nah, download Slippy, just get online." I downloaded it. It took literally 5 minutes, 10 minutes to set it up. Got my controller plugged in through whatever I use through my Switch, like the GameCube adapter, and I was playing Melee. Just like that. It's insane. And he's in California, I think, and I'm in Chicago, and we literally were playing Melee like we were sitting right next to each other. It blew my mind, and it was actually amazing. And I still use Slippy to this day. It's an amazing piece of mod plugin, again, whatever you want to call it. But the fact that Nintendo is actively trying to ruin the Smash Melee community, which is extremely obvious. They've been trying to destroy Melee for years. After HBox confronted Nintendo after winning a tournament saying, "Hey, can you please add support? Please support this game because this community is not dead yet. There's still so much to do." Nintendo said, "Yeah, sure, we'll do that." And obviously they lied, because now Nintendo is just trying to cease and desist all this online Melee stuff because, again, we physically cannot go to a local tournament and play Melee because of a pandemic. This is the only way to keep Melee alive. Just remember that. Unless there's some magical cure and COVID goes away forever, which probably will never happen, we just can't play Slippy. I mean, it's insane. You can't do tournaments with Slippy anymore. I don't know why Nintendo's even thinking this is a good idea. And legally, I think they can't cease and desist this, because if Big House actually took a ROM disc, like their own physical disc, and made it a ROM, then uploaded it to their emulation and then running Slippy, I don't see where the legal status comes from that. I don't know how that's even a lawsuit. I actually don't know. I feel like if Big House actually fought Nintendo against this, they might win. But again, Nintendo is a massive corporation. Big House doesn't have the money for that, doesn't have the time for that, and it's really not even worth fighting, which is really sad. And I know a lot of my fans probably don't even watch Melee, or probably didn't even know what Melee was. I don't even know how old my fan base is. Don't tell me, I don't really care. But this community is amazing. There's so many commentators that you probably watch on Twitch, or just streamers in general, that came from Melee and you didn't even know it. The biggest one being Ludwig. And I probably wouldn't have done this video if it wasn't for Ludwig. Ludwig really cares about this community, and I care about the Smash community, but I play more Ultimate. I am not very good at Melee, like I've said. I'm really bad at the game, but that doesn't make me not want to play the game. If anything, this whole ordeal makes me want to learn Melee even more, and the fact that Nintendo is stopping us from doing that is just It's crazy. All my friends play Melee, and they're really, really good at Melee. And the reason that I think I'm really bad at Melee is because of my friends. They just completely curb stomp me every single time I play with them, and it's really... It sucks. It's bad. So thank you to Ludwig for making that video, because I don't think I would have made this video without seeing that video. It's not even just about if you like Melee or not. It's just the fact that Nintendo needs to get out of this system that they're in. Now, Critical has done something huge for YouTube. They answered us, YouTube, if we could do something similar to that for hashtag free Melee, this could also help Ultimate. This could help future Nintendo IPs. This isn't just about Melee anymore. This is so much more, and it's really, really important to not just the Smash community, but just the online community currently during this pandemic. So if you guys can just go on Twitter, do hashtag free Melee, say whatever you want about the game, just help it. The community cannot die this way, and it needs a big kickstart from the community. So this is the way to do it. I don't have a massive platform. I don't think a lot of people are even going to see this video, but even if it reaches 10 people to do this hashtag free Melee, that's good with me, man. It's so much more than just Melee at this point. That's about it. Bye.
I miss the old mango, straight from the gold mango, the best of gold mango, read all the roles mango, I hate the new mango, but chew and lose mango, Buster and Cruise mango, drink all the booze mango, I miss the sweet mango, way shine and peach mango, I gotta say, at that time I'd like to meet mango, see he invented mangoes, it wasn't any mangoes, and I would look around and there's so many mangoes, I used to love mango, I used to love mango,
It's funny how I can be considered the greatest of all time, but also equally at the same time be the biggest buster of all time, all the time. Like, how does that make sense, you know?
Mango!